honey, it's me. What did you think when you heard me back on the radio? What did the kids say when they knew it was their long-lost daddy? Oh, remember how we listened to the radio, and I said that's the place to be. And how I got the job as an FM jock the day you married me. It was 2 kids and I was into AM rock, but I just had to run around. It's been 8 years since I left you, babe. Let me tell you about what's gone down. I am the morning DJ at WOLD, playing all the hits for you, wherever you may be. The bright good morning, hello.
Who's heard but never seen? And talk about a face that should be heard but never seen. It's your boy Bobby Tamburo back again with your favorite podcasts that analyze Harry Chapin songs, Talkin Choppin with Chapin. And joining me tonight, I cannot tell you how excited I am to have this gentleman here. You know him, you love him. Let's get to him right away. From the History Homos, it's the legend himself, Scott. Oh, but first, you know what we like to do here at Talkin Choppin with Chapin, and that means we have a goal. And what's our goal tonight? It's $300 in our Panhandling to a Pontiac fund. That's right. I am panhandling until you guys send me enough money, enough of your hard-earned money. You send that to me for just this shit-talking show we do about another podcast, and then I get to buy a Pontiac. Without further ado, let's hope he's still on this screen somewhere. Let's bring in Scott.
Bobby, thanks for having me.
What's going on, buddy? Glad you could clear up your schedule to come on. We got a doozy here tonight.
Well, Bobby, as you know, when you think of our show, and just the general, what's happening now in the pod sphere, I'm really with that stuff because there's nothing I like better than living my life through viewing other people's content and, in doing so, sort of letting everybody know that I'm funnier and better than them.
Yeah, and
not really add anything to it.
Tearing down their happiness for some sense of self-worth. Now,
a very small piece of self-worth, Bobby. Don't forget about that.
And he's better than what I've got going for me right now.
True, same.
And, of course, what better material to talk about tonight than Harry Chapin? Are you a Harry Chapin fan?
Bobby, I got to be honest with you. I am not a huge Harry Chapin fan. In fact, in general speaking, I think folk music is like sort of one of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse as far as the decline of the Western civilization and, the American century, so to speak. And, but, as far as like, when it's ironically used in like a Wes Anderson movie, sure, I can get into it, but, particularly the song that we're going to be discussing tonight, we're going to be discussing the discussion about tonight.
Yeah, to be clear, we will not be actually discussing any Harry Chapin. We are discussing this podcast, Choppin' with Chapin.
Right.
That is about a Harry Chapin song. So it doesn't really matter your stance on him, but it's good to know you hate the guy.
Yeah, pretty much. And also, when you said, sorry to interrupt you, I know we're doing transformative content here, obviously.
Shut up.
But as far when you said Chapin, I got excited because I thought it was my favorite Polish/French anti-Semitic composer of the Romantic period, Frédéric Chopin.
Oh, no. This is the last protester, the self-dubbed last protest singer, Harry Chapin.
Right.
Well, how he would have felt about Rock Against Bush, huh?
Could honestly, I gotta imagine that he probably would have fit right in with Occupy Wall Street or Black Lives Matter.
He would have just been playing. They thought he was another homeless guy.
Well, I suppose if he played Cats in the Cradle at a Black Lives Matter protester, not many people would really resonate with it.
Well, they might be like, "Is that Yusuf Islam?"
Yes. By the way, I do like Cat Stevens.
I also like Cat Stevens. I also
Cat
like Harry
Stevens.
Chapin. I think he had a lot to say. My favorite part is I don't think he has a song under 6 minutes, which really is
True.
just fun to torture anybody on a car ride.
Sure.
With. That's
sure.
how I got indoctrinated. It's kind of like whiskey. It's an acquired taste.
Yeah. Or you're like Arlo Guthrie is another good option for this style of music.
He
Yes,
does have
yes.
my favorite Christmas carol, A Pause for Mr. Claus, where he points out that they would absolutely arrest Santa. And let's be honest, the FBI would arrest Santa.
Yes. Oh my God. He would. Well, to be fair, they would actually sheep dip Santa and uncover the entire toy cartel. Really, it wouldn't end at Santa. Santa would just be like sort of the tip of the iceberg of the investigation, I think.
And he was running a sweatshop. He was a racist.
For disabled migrant elves. You know, they're disabled.
Scott, can I get a alarm sound?
Well, I gotta. Maybe. Let's go for it.
Because
Well,
we
that
got
too.
our first super chat of the night. That is from. I like that. The shotgun. We got our first super chat of the night from Dominic for $30. He said choppin' with Chapin. So I think he was just on board.
Shouts out. Shouts out, Dominic.
The Nader. The Nader sends a lot of paraphernalia to Compound. It makes my day every time. Loving the sound effects. In the chat, we got a bunch of big fans. We got Zen's producer who said Bobby. We got JC who gave us the applause sign. Zen's producer who said Scotty. And then we
Shouts
got
out.
Grindle who wanted to know, is this a show about lumberjacks? Zen's producer saying Harry Chapin was a real fruit booter. Chaplin,
True.
damn it, Chapin. She spelled Chaplin twice. Jim Grindle said Cat Stevens was neither a cat nor a man named Steven. Think about it. That's a good point.
True. He is a
And,
Muslim man, though. Pretty cool cat.
Yeah. Now, who did it first, him or Kareem?
Oh, Cat Stevens, I think.
That would make sense. So he kind of was.
Yeah, I think he was in the
trailblazer.
70s. Yeah, maybe late 70s, early 80s or
So
something.
you could say like Kareem was a black man ripping off a white man for once.
Yeah, they're ripping me off. They're ripping me off. Fuck, who is Cat Stevens' contemporary? Shit.
Oh God, there's
Sure.
a bug in here. It's attacking. That's good to see on a pod.
They must have smelled. It must have smelled Harry Chapin's music.
Or this podcast we're about to roast.
Oh,
Lucas of the Bind said, Good evening to you, Lucas. And Zen's producer said, the slowest board runner in the biz, Scott.
Yes.
Unfortunately, it's not his fault so much tonight as our setup, which you will see now as I am taking the audio
back
back.
control. Yes,
Yes,
that's how
so we
do
can
it.
get into-
But mouse will rest on the button to switch quickly, though, Becky. So next time it won't happen.
And we will get into our first video here. For part of the video, let's hit the ground running from the start.
Oh, honey, it's me. What did you think when you heard me back on the radio? What did the kids say when they knew it was their long-lost daddy? Oh, remember how we listened to the radio, and I said that's the place to be. And how I got the job as an FM jock the day you married me. It was 2 kids and I was into AM rock, but I just had to run around. It's been 8 years since I left you, babe. Let me tell you about what's gone down. I am the morning DJ at WOLD. Playing all the hits for you, wherever you may be. The bright good morning. Hello.
Who's heard but never seen? And here's a face that should be heard but never seen.
First of all, we got to stop here. What's with the drunk rug? Can you believe this guy? I got to ask.
Yeah.
I have.
Put in more than 10 seconds of work before your podcast and at least put on a collared shirt or a nice black shirt, something that's slimming. Fix your
Right.
camera angle. What are we getting the worst shot in the world?
Let's say something else that people don't say all the time. What is it, like a hostage situation?
Yeah, are you in somebody's basement right now? And
I think
clearly,
Mom's gonna call down and be like, "Pizza rolls are ready."
Let's take a bet. How quickly into the game the hat he's clearly wearing to cover his hairline starts to slide back and reveal how bald he is. I will say,
we got to do the over under. We got to do the over under. We got to make it about betting because that's hot right now. Betting.
Oh, I do like betting. Use promo code panhandling to a Pontiac fund. Send your super chats there, and we will use that money to gamble on a Pontiac. And by that I mean I'm just gonna buy a Pontiac. And
that is a gamble.
Yes,
we all know what gamble. Sorry, we all know what Pontiac stands for, right?
We do, but we can't say it because we're on YouTube.
I know.
So let's say it's let's call them. Let's come up with a term for them. Barack Obama.
Not. How about let's just, you know what? I think they got enough of what we were talking about.
Piazza.
There. Yeah.
What if we call them Sorianos? Anyway.
Yeah. I was gonna say it doesn't really work with the whole acronym thing, but
just real quick, going to the chat here because it definitely doesn't interrupt the show of us talking.
Oh, right. I forgot. That's the most important thing.
We got Zen's producer saying "beautiful Jufro" and the chin of Ray DeVito. Ooh, JC said begging for a Buick. Well, JC, if you give the most tonight in tonight's drive, I will let you rename the fund. What do you think about that? Venmo's right there, buddy. Thank God that didn't interrupt the flow of the pod at all. Anyway, back to
the content.
Yeah, I will say the opening at least was refreshing. You know,
true. You know, I got a few minutes there to get a breather at least. You know?
Yeah, it was unique. It was original. I like the background. It's your boy,
the music.
Bobby Tamburo. Did he say it's your boy? Can we cancel him for
played out is that
appropriation already?
Yeah, what a hack!
Oh,
what a hack!
Oh man, and put some money into some equipment. All right, you call yourself a podcaster.
Honestly,
just get some lighting in your room, something. You're talking into an XLR microphone. What are you doing? Anyway, let's see what he's got. Choppin with Chapin, the world's #1.
What kind of name is that?
Harry Chapin. Yeah, Choppin with Chapin. It doesn't even rhyme.
Yeah, Choppin. Can the '90s hip hop culture called? They want their lingo back.
Yeah, what do? Call it a god comma? Song Analysis Podcast. How's everybody doing tonight? Are we excited? I will be monitoring the chat to the best of my abilities, but I'm still getting used to this, so bear with me as much as possible.
Pause. They all say this. They all cover up the fact that they can't do a podcast by saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, I haven't done this before. I'm sorry. I'm just in such disbelief that this would be a podcast."
It's just nuts. Practice. Put a little effort in. Don't just get OBS and hit start streaming and assume it's just going to come to you naturally because you got a good chemistry with whatever subject you're talking about or whatever co-host you have. Sometimes it's going to be hard. Lucas says, this is so meta. I don't know what Facebook has to do with this. Let's continue. Like Harry Chapin said, all life's a circle. So eventually I'll get good at this. And then I'm a
big fan of Franz Kafka. Sorry, it was right here.
No, that was great. When he said, to quote Harry Chapin, I thought he was going to be like, look out, a semi-truck. Oh, God, I wish this podcaster would get hit by a semi-truck.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Watch out, you're going to get sued by if he fucking hears it. You said this, dude.
Hey, don't let us have all the fun roasting.
Yeah.
Super chat.
Don't forget, send us money and we'll read your witty repartee.
Yep, because let's be honest, you are just as good at this as we are. And you are working hard for that money, so why not give it to me? Because I'm clearly working hard as well. Let's continue.
She works hard for the money. Can we do a fucking podcast about Giorgio Moroder instead?
Coming up next.
Yeah.
Next technology. That's just how life works. Now, assuming you ended up here because you follow me on Twitter or know of my podcasts, I looked up this guy. Okay, I looked up this guy.
He's got like 6 podcasts.
Are you ready for this? He's got 2,000 followers on Twitter. Does he think they ended up here by accident? Does he think he even shows up in their algorithm? What is he doing?
That's a little personal, Bobby. Chill.
We said we're working hard here. Look at this guy. It looks like he's never worked hard at anything in his life. Look at that gut.
I was gonna say worked hard on his physique. Am I right?
Yeah, clearly not.
A lot of bend in the elbow.
It's probably so lonely he wants to kill himself too. Put out a tweet today to decide which song we would be talking about. My personal choice would have been the opening song, WOLD. It's about radio. It's about love.
Oh, okay. Pause. Notice subtly he abdicates responsibility for if it's a bad episode by saying,
Ooh.
"Don't forget, it was you, the listener, that."
Good catch.
Yeah,
I was thinking,
listen,
dude, get ready
nothing
for
gets
this.
through this steel trap, man.
Do you have a bombshell ready to go, perchance? Because I'm about to drop some bombshells, so be ready.
Go ahead.
This guy's poll, I'm scrolling to find how many votes it actually had. And give me a number that you think it can't be under.
69.
13. Drop that bombshell. Ooh, mister, I've got so many followers on Twitter. Got 13 votes.
That's a baby saying I'm gay.
Yeah, because this guy got 13 votes. What's he even thinking? And you want to know what's even worse? I bet this absolute douche is about...
He's a fag.
I bet he's about to make some kind of, I'm in radio, WLD's like my life reference. What do you think?
Probably some cheese dick shit like that. Am I right?
Zen's producer, as always, not breaking up the flow going to the chat.
I was going to say, I thought we were going to hear something, but you're right. What's more important is that we hear from the chat, especially if they've tipped.
Yeah. She says, we are just ripping off Red Bar. And there's no way that's true. There's no way that all of these podcasts are filled with people who used to talk about how mean he was and how terrible of a podcaster he was. Now they're all just doing watered-down versions of what he did. It's like, if you really want
actually
that content,
somehow
just tune
less
into
funny.
him.
Somehow, which is almost impossible to be.
Whoa, I wouldn't
by
go
the
that
way.
far. Yeah, it's just less funny. It's like, why? He already did it. No, you can't possibly say that, Becky. That's crazy. Anyway, let's get back to this hack.
It was beef. Chill.
That was a close censor, my man. That is some impressive
I
audio.
did the
work.
editing work myself, my friend.
You know what, guys? Send some money to the Panhandling to a Pontiac Fund for that audio editing there. Very personal to me. I really enjoy it. But the fans voted, and I can't blame them. It's probably the song I would have chosen if I wasn't familiar with Harry Chapin either.
Share.
Oh, my bad. That's me.
But we're totally professional, by the way. We never do this. In fact, everyone who does mess up with the audio should be fucking mocked. It's embarrassing. How dare you flash your PayPal in front of the screen?
Yeah, come on. Anyway, back to the video. To go through 30,000 pounds of bananas. Now, the song was originally debuted on Harry's album Verities, and you knew what song you were going to talk about. You had all day to prepare, and you couldn't remember the name of the fucking album? What is this guy doing? Yeah. You know what? Why don't you guys send some money to our Panhandling to a Pontiac Fund, and we will send this guy a notepad so he can take some notes before the next episode, huh?
Oh, brilliant idea. Why don't you send him some new fucking clothes, too?
Yeah.
Idiot.
Hey, the beach called. They want their $12 drug rug back. I've never really known how to pronounce that. It's not really in any of the songs, so I'm not really sure where the title came from.
So this guy doesn't know the word balderdash? You kidding me?
You're pretending like you're hooked on drugs with your outfit. How about you get hooked on phonics, you fucking pussy?
I don't have the audio, but I would have been pressing the shotgun right now.
You fucking Tito Martinez. That's what we call F words because we can't say that on Facebook.
Oh, we're on Facebook right now? This is my big return to Facebook. It's been years.
Oh, Zen's producer said, this mumbling dodo, 1995, wants their outfit back. Good call. Good call.
There you go. There you go.
Zen's producer, you're on fire tonight. I don't know who you are, but you seem lovely.
Yeah.
You are on fire. Let's continue with this.
Hey, I think this guy missed the casting call for Nickelodeon's Rocket Power.
That's actually not bad. That's actually a really, God, if Rocket Power had somebody with a receding hairline. I would say I hope this guy has
Power.
This guy is so bald, I would say I hope he has leukemia, but you would think leukemia would take care of that shitty beard too. Let's continue. But this is about the song, not about the artist. Now, I did say the song debuted on this 1974 album, but the version we're going to be... If he says but one more time, going through tonight...
Talk about
honestly,
a verbal crutch.
Popular, came off of the... That crutch better be pure steel with how fat that guy looks. Go to the Stories album. It's a live version. And what made this unique is
it's funny because it's bad.
Oh, boy. I may be looking for a new co-host next week. Seems to be about how long these relationships last. All right.
Yeah, it seems like you just can't get a break. All the people you surround yourself who also make a career on cheaply criticizing people for fucking pocket change. That's not technically a very stable source of relationship.
We just had Zen's producer gave us a great idea in the chat. Sorry to cut you off there, Scott, but the chat's more important than you.
Obviously.
We are going to get a butt counter on the screen.
Great idea, yes. And also it'd be really funny if you actually took like a butt. Like actually like an ass.
Ooh, I like that.
That might be a little bit too production heavy though for on the fly though.
Well, you know what? Why don't you just play the soundboard for a few seconds and cover up for me, and we might be able to make this happen.
Okay. It wasn't even going through.
How can you stop?
Nope, it was pure silence. Because we're really good at this.
How can you stop? How can you stop it? How can you stop?
That's why I'm gonna kill Mick Romney.
It's fiction. We made it up. We made this one up. It's a made-up tale. It's a total fabrication.
Felt like we got a little political with our things there, huh?
It wasn't me.
Yeah,
It was a black guy talking.
Okay, fair enough. He's allowed to.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. So we decided on a butt counter. While we do that, any idea what number we're at? I think it's probably 3, right?
I don't know, but you should share your audio again.
I should share my audio again. That is a good call. Zen's producer, any chance you know how many? You're in the chat still, right? Let's see. I got to go to the chat. I'm very good at using this technology.
Very good chat. I mean, obviously the chat is the most important thing, Bobby. What are you talking about?
Lucas of the Bind said, "Oh yeah, butts in the chat," and then Zen's producer had a great quote, which was, "Pontiacs don't sell tickets. I'm stoned." I'm just gonna assume we are at 3 for the butts. Is that cool with you?
That sounds
cool
good to
with
me.
everybody in the
3
chat?
is the divine number, so you should start with that.
You know what? A new game here. First person to super chat gets to tell me how many butts there have been so far, other than these.
Besides the 2 that are stuck watching this crap show.
Yeah, what an asshole. If only I could find my folders, this would be a lot easier. I should be more organized. Scott, hit me. No, I'm just kidding. Because if we do that, we're gonna have to unshare the sound again.
Yeah, it's just a little bit too much work. Uh-oh. You went white. Oh, there we go. Butts.
Oh, you get it? It's a joke. Because it's like a
oh
butt,
my
but
God.
a butt. And we are at 3. All right, send us a super chat of your hard-earned money if you got something to say about this greatness. And as you do, we are going to keep the episode moving right along. A lot more of the song than originally made it onto Verities and Balderdash. Before we get too much into the song, I will give you a bit of the backstory. Not that you can't really get it from the lyrics, but just to give you an idea. The song comes from
Who cares?
and it's based on a truck accident that History doesn't sell
songs.
Pennsylvania in 1965.
Should have been forgotten in 1966.
Was on his way to deliver a load of, you guessed it, bananas to Scranton. And along the way, he wasn't from Pennsylvania. He was from New Jersey.
He just had to show
Wasn't
off
as
his little
familiar with the
graphic,
roads.
didn't
It was
he?
a diesel truck that
sure
weighed 21 tons. It was.
You think maybe you want to write it down
and
before
he
you
was
start
headed
doing the
down Route
episode there,
307
pal?
Where he lost control. That section of Route 307 is a 2-mile descent straight into the city, and it is a very steep curve. Now, at the time, trucks under 21,000 pounds were required. Who to stay cares in the area. about trucks in the history of Scranton, Now, there are Pennsylvania? no trucks over 21,000 pounds allowed at all, because what happened is, as he lost control, he eventually reached the bottom of the hill going 90 miles per hour.
9
What?
times.
Hang on one second.
9 times.
9 times?
9 times.
We got to talk about the irony of him being like, the truck's going 90 miles an hour, and he is talking slower than I've ever heard anybody.
Textbook. You look up irony, and this guy's picture is in there.
Like Alanis Morissette.
Hey, you know what else? He's got more chins than Chinese phone book.
1,000 truck going 90 miles per hour. Basically a
9
nuclear bomb
times.
coming into the city. He
says
sideswiped a
Becky.
bunch of cars close to the bottom of the hill, and then eventually flipped the truck himself and crashed. He was the only
How
one-
about a
this
little respect
podcast-
for the dead? How about?
Yeah, and if you're having a podcast this bad and you mention someone crashing in a car crash, it's just going to make people wish you did the same. Or your mother did. Or your father did 9 months before he fucked your mother.
Or your mom swallowed the load that would become you.
Yeah, I bet you're like one of those ass fuck loads that drip down. Die because he was thrown from the truck. It was going 90 miles an hour. Probably should have been wearing a seatbelt. What is this guy, fucking Ralph Nader? You can thank Ralph Nader for that. But he was thrown from the truck. 15 people
Hippie.
were injured, but
This
only
guy
6
probably
died.
likes Ralph Nader, fucking libtard.
Yeah, he was happy he split the vote and saved the election for Bush. He's probably a war hawk, even though he's wearing his fucking drug rug like a hippie.
Yeah.
I bet he works for an alt-right network. And the road was closed for cleanup. So, that was important to know. The road was closed for cleanup. Tab says seatbelt, daddy.
Let's also take a moral high ground about who employs him, and then also conveniently forget about everything that we do regularly that is in contradiction with the new moral paradigm that we have set as being unmoral. Based on this video and this episode alone, whatever is convenient for who we are mocking at the time, and the goalposts will be moved. There will be no consistency, and we will answer any and all questions and name principal actors when the FBI interviews us related to our activities on a certain day in this winter.
I was with you, and then I lost you, and then I figured it out by the end. I would just like to say, at this point, we are 10% of our way to our goal for the night. You know, that's more important than the content we do, hitting
Obviously.
our goals. So, Scott, tell him what to do.
Hit him with the panhandling to a Pontiac fund at our Venmo, at Robert-Tamboro. Hit us with some money. We could just continue living in our mom's basement. My
this
wife's
host.
my wife's parents' basement.
Oh.
And but it'd be nice if we could get a poor old anyway.
And clearly, if you look at these videos, one person, maybe two, are living in a basement right now, so they probably shouldn't throw stones living in a glass house. As a result of this song, not this song, but the incident that inspired this song. Did he cut out for a second? How long was that pause? We have.
I don't know. I thought I was having a
stroke.
stroke.
I don't know. I wish this guy would have had a stroke of genius and decided not to do this
I
podcast.
was gonna say, yes, you have to say the most wordy and retarded thing.
Someone named Crazy, who's definitely not my landlord's in the chat, saying, support Bobby, the rent is due. And he is not wrong. That is definitely not why we are doing the panhandling to a Pontiac fund. Let's continue the video. It really isn't important to the story. I don't know why I put so many details into it, but you know what? Now you know some history if you ever go to Scranton that you can bore folks with like I just did. I wish he would go to Scranton, buy a gun,
Never leave.
and blow his brains out for approximately 9 minutes. Let's get to the song itself.
Maybe you should see if Dunder Mifflin is hiring.
Or like I said, listening to the Greatest Stories version, which is of course a live album. It's the album I was introduced to Harry Chapin with and is probably his most popular. Oh God, the jam band guy wants to give the history of the live version and why it's better.
These guys, you can smell them and see them a mile away. Just walking around with a balloon, walking around being like, hey, has anybody got anything?
Oh God, just the worst. The worst.
Now I'm going to do some warmed over Jim Brewer impressions.
Zen's producer said 9 minutes. We missed one. But he hasn't said but in a while, thankfully. Zen's producer called him an incel. That may be accurate. I like it because Harry Chapin sucks.
He's Volcel, I think.
Lyrically, beautiful. Artist. Let's be honest, if you're wearing that hoodie, you're definitely a Volcel.
Yeah, you're You're a fake cell, at least.
All amazing. His ability to sing is only rivaled by Bob Dylan's. Like, it is great. God.
Oh, yeah.
Move on. So, that's something to bear in mind. Another thing that's kind of fun about this song is it matches the pace of what's happening in the story. So, thanks for breaking it down at a retard level for us. What? We couldn't figure out the pacing increases as the song increases? Here we go. Pay attention to how fast the music is, how fast things are going, all that good stuff. I am paying attention to how fast things are going, and you are like paint drying. The song itself. It would probably help if I put the video up. Oh God, be ready.
The professionalism.
He doesn't even have a fund or anything.
Is he just going to show a YouTube video?
Yeah, how hack is it to just somebody else's video and play it the whole time and talk about it?
Jeez.
Okay, the LA Memorial Choir. I was able to find zero information on these folks other than the fact that they performed. I think his butthole's as big as what he was just showing us with Harry Chapin for this live album. They are amazing. At a lot of points in the
unlike
song,
this podcast,
they just roll with it. There's one point where they even get ahead with him. There's, as Harry puts it, what did he mean by there's even one point where they get ahead with him? Like,
I think maybe I wish I was getting ahead to make this go quicker.
8,000 munchkins and a troll. There's one guy who can hit some notes that might oh
Oh,
make you
God,
you're
just
telling us what he's going to sing in the
vibrations
song. Move on already. So be careful. Let's get
I already don't want to listen to Harry Chapin sing it, asshole.
You guys, I guess you're game. You've been game all night, okay? Now, it's a low part, but it builds up.
The Brooklyn accent.
This podcast has been a low part of my life.
Absolutely brilliant Chet Atkins guitar lick that it took me about 4 hours to steal, and I wish you'd appreciate it when it comes by.
While I do like that he cites his sources, you know, you see samples used all the time and not actually being cited and all that good stuff. What is all that good stuff he meant there? It was just as simple as you see sources not being cited. He didn't need the rest.
There's no good stuff in this podcast, believe you me.
You know what this guy needs to do? He needs to go home and listen to some Ron Bennington, the master of dead air, and learn something about how to do fucking radio, okay? You clearly just go on. Yeah, I've been doing this since I was 15, man. You clearly just go on, you create a fund, like panhandling to a Pontiac, you set a goal, and then you beg people until you get there. Let's continue. I don't know if that avoids plagiarism laws. Like, I don't know if it doesn't. Then sue Harry for royalties for the song. I'm not sure of the legality of that. If you're a you know what? I think for the sake of our audience who's probably hurting right now, And seeing as we are not even a third of the way through, I'm going to change the playback speed up a little bit on this.
Oh,
what do you
thank
say?
you. Thank you. Thank you.
You know what? Here's what we'll do. Every $5 you guys Venmo to the Panhandling to a Pontiac Fund, we will increase it by 10%. So thanks to Donovan, we're already at 130.
Shouts out Donovan.
Shouts out Donovan. Oh, God, we started from the beginning.
Now,
Oh, no.
the song, the Scranton, the only person to die because he was thrown from the truck.
Was me!
90 miles an hour.
Yeah, I've died 5 minutes into this shitty podcast from eating shit. Becky said something funny in the chat, but I'm not going to repeat it in case YouTube catches it.
I should have been wearing a seatbelt. You can thank Ralph Nader for that.
Oh, great. We got to hear the Ralph Nader joke.
So-
The really unfunny
I love
Ralph
songs being
Nader
from
joke.
Aussie samples used all the time and not actually being
Hey, we
cited and
found
all
it.
that good stuff. I don't know if that avoids plagiarism laws. Like, I don't know if
It doesn't.
It absolutely does not. We already covered that, but
Okay.
Zen's producer said Munchkin Bobby, which I'm going to take a step further and say his voice finally matches his height, fucking midget.
Glenn can then sue Harry for royalties for the song. I'm not sure of the legality of that. If you're a lawyer, jump in the chat and let me know.
Actually, don't, because we have enough. Never mind. This is going out live.
If you're unfamiliar with Harry,
I wish the truck would start down into exploding my head with the big wheel.
I like how he started to say something but bailed for that opening line. Okay. Harry Chapin has not said anything other than there's an asshole in a truck carrying bananas, right? What could he possibly want to get into? Let's find out. Let's find out. Probably nothing.
Well, let's see what brilliant monkey shines he's going to pull out of his drug rug.
Yeah, Mr. Harry Chapin expert. What words of wisdom are you going to whisper in my ear?
of bananas. What I was going to say is if you're unfamiliar with Harry Chapin and this is your first experience with him, this sounds like a country song, kind of like a old-timey country, something that might have spoken word to it, and it does fit that theme. However, that's not really...
What an asshole. This is
Harry more of
obviously a
folksy
very
musician,
popular
acoustic
style of
a lot of breath of
1970s
instruments, that's for
folk
sure, but it's
music.
really not that typical country western sound you're hearing. And
Yeah, because it
talk
isn't.
about with 2 lines
It's
of
folk
lyrics.
music.
Yeah, the point he's making about Harry having some, like, rock songs is a little valid, but still, Jesus Christ, let's just move on with the song. He said one fucking line already.
Really painting the entire scene of what's going on. The sun had just set. He's got a truck full of 30...
He didn't say anything about the sun. He said it was just after dark. Who knows? It could have been raining all day. Maybe that came into play factor.
1,000 pounds of bananas, and he's heading down this giant hill into Scranton.
But, Bubby, what's really important is that we nitpick these things.
Yeah, it's important to not focus on the fact that this guy's doing it live by himself and trying something new. It's important to compare him to the professionals.
Right.
You know,
And
this
not
is
just the professionals, Bobby. The legend, all-time legends, by the way.
Yeah, the
as far
greatest
as,
to ever do it.
Yes. And people who will literally defined the medium.
Let's continue.
It's like a
This guy
banana
disgusts
you want
me.
for your ice cream. Carrying 30,000 pounds, hitting Big John with it of banana.
Boy, Big John can't sing, can he?
No, he's just the baritone.
He was a young driver, just out on his second job, and he was carrying the next day.
Bobby likes this song. Check it out.
Okay,
I do.
so if there's this route that has
I hate this guy.
this huge hill that's known for its ability to
Oh, look, he's
derail
doing his
drivers and
little
things like that,
open
and it's
mic bits.
Yeah, this is clearly, ooh, I just came up with this on the fly and definitely didn't write this before the show.
Yeah, it is little moleskin notebook.
Take a sip of his fucking fruity drink.
second job because he's such a young driver. Nobody wanted to give him a heads up. Nobody was like, hey, pay attention to Route 307. Seems like it's already management's fault.
Oh, look, he's throwing in his little regional references so his regional listeners will get it and be like, I know that. Jeez, what a hack.
It is amazing how quickly the viewers have dropped since we started playing the actual Harry Chapin song.
I got to assume, by the way, that the same thing happened when our friend here started playing the Harry Chapin song in the first in his episode.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because even though now we have 6 viewers, when at one point we had 14, this guy never had more than 1 on the original showing, so Let's just.
Okay, so the first thing I want to address in that part is the fact.
Yeah,
that
we got to
Soldier Play
break
was
down
not
with
fair, and I don't
your
know why that is.
genius
I've been to
wit,
Scranton, it is not
the most inane
no one there
song
seems to have
ever.
any hope in their life. Maybe it has to do with the lack of bananas. Also, 30,000 pounds of bananas a day seems
Oh
ridiculous.
God, he's gonna
This
do the
accident
math.
Happened in. When did the accident happen?
We're skipping ahead. I can't deal with that.
Yeah.
If you want to do math, do a shitty math podcast.
Nailed it, but you know what? It doesn't matter.
What was he just
There's
doing
nobody
off
watching
mic?
Anyway.
Oh, he was looking up how much a
Let's
banana
continue.
cost and weighed, and then doing the actual math that he should have done before the show.
If you're gonna make a comment like that, figure out what you're gonna say beforehand. Don't do it
Again,
on the fly.
Focusing on the theme of
I
is this how-
definitely never do that. Personally, in my own podcast, ever.
That's a great point, and something I want to look into is the chat where Tiffany says, Bobby's kind of cute. How much to reach the shirt-off donation goal? Well, you know what? That is a good point. We don't really care about humiliating ourselves by doing physical things here. We just care about hitting our panhandling to a Pontiac fund goal. So I'll say this. If we reach 10 times our goal of the night, which is $3,000,
We're gonna go Bert Kreischer mode, baby.
full-on Kreischer mode. Zen's producer said, oh, snap, getting hot in here. Let's continue.
Deadly.
With
Is
a
it
little
really
bit
his
of
fault?
and a little
Sign
bit
said
of
shift to low gear, or it's a fine, my friend. Yeah, buddy, if you feel like it,
More open mic
you'll
bits.
die.
These
You
bits
will
don't
see
sell
The
tickets.
Reaper and be brought to Judgment Day if you do not shift to a low gear.
Oh, God. I heard this guy's girlfriend's on Bonely fans, too.
ugh. What a simp. Actually, TBH, you really should be embarrassed if that's the case. Just my personal belief.
Careful, your character's slipping.
Fuck, you're right.
Distracted by pussy.
Something he doesn't get.
Yeah. Oh, the incel is going to tell us how pussy's bad now.
The tale as old as time. My man was thinking about his penis. He was.
Yeah, he's a real Nick
Nick
Groiper Fuentes there, talking about something he don't get.
I think he's secretly gay.
3,000 pounds.
I
of
know
bananas.
he's
The
secretly
only
gay because he
road
sucked
he
my
was worried about
dick.
taking on was
You probably put it on my
That's
shoulder.
what he went on.
Woo!
Zen's producer said, what's next? This clown has dog girl on?
Hey, we didn't do it. I smell 30,000 pounds of something.
Yeah, shit. 30,000 pounds of cock.
Good, I'm glad you
shit.
spelled it out, by the way.
Yeah.
With the hard consonant sounds.
Well, clearly this guy's a retard because he's breaking down the lyrics of 30,000 pounds of bananas. So we got to simplify it for him, Scott.
Okay, so we see the pace starting to pick
It's
up again.
very
Now we're
funny
right
that
in
that
the
sounded
second.
like because
Again,
it sped
he's
up, it
going-
sounded like
it was a Rams
kids.
day.
It sounded like
It was
a
the second.
what's a Rafi concert.
He does get a little raffy at
Oh
the end.
fuck, I'm doing real jokes. Shit, let's go back to what the
Nothing
real
wrong with
show's
that.
about. Yeah.
Good job, but he's never trucked in his life. He's not used to hauling bananas from New Jersey to Pennsylvania.
Oh, open mic bits.
home,
Scott, give me a
so it's
sound effect
lovely.
for that.
Sure, I will.
Just take it
Hot
whenever you
breath
got it.
woman. It's hot breath because she has chlamydia. Most people in Scranton have chlamydia.
That is true.
Like,
Most
if-
people
if
in
she was
Scranton
going
do
to
have
ease the
chlamydia,
long day
though. I'll
away,
give him that.
He really caught a break by the end of the story, not having to experience the slow, painful death from whatever STI he contracted.
You
from
just
it.
said it was chlamydia.
See that bass and banjo?
Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
He literally just said the song builds up in intensity and excitement. He's not trying to hide anything from you. He wants you to get this one.
Oh,
on the
God. Then why did you tell us if he's going to in the song? Look at him dancing, little twink in the
Yeah,
eye.
this guy paid no heed to my time.
Yeah, wasted 30 minutes of my life I won't get back. And this will be a waste of a podcast no matter what good content came out of it. If we don't hit our goal, which
You
is
may as well not done
$300,
it.
Yeah, it's like, what's the point if we're not, like, so what if you guys are entertained? If you don't send us all of your hard-earned money, what are you doing?
Also, you aren't you are entertained.
Yeah, you don't have a choice. You like this. Let's continue.
I said Christ. What a bad
Pretend
podcast.
to be a truck.
Christ could have been crucified, died, buried, and risen from the dead in the pause between him stopping the music and whatever line he went to say. He lost whatever train of thought he had.
Driver. But I do think you should probably pump the brakes. That said, I've been very hard on our truck driver.
Oh,
Really,
man. What a car bit.
Oh, did he just all of a sudden realize 95% of his fans are probably truckers or related to truckers and decided to walk back his criticism of this one? Maybe.
Creating a situation any of us could be in. It's your second
You
day
know
on
what?
a new job. You're not super experienced with what's going on or how you're supposed to do it. You're thinking, oh, man.
Oh,
almost
God. More bits. Skipping ahead.
And the reaction was this. Like, before he stopped.
I wish this podcast would stop.
Yeah, you and me both.
On the hill that leads into Scranton, Pennsylvania.
That would be less
400
painful.
yards, 400 minutes of hell.
That'd be less
400
painful than listening to this podcast.
Almost 30,000 pounds. You guessed it.
Back to the Rafi concert.
He didn't make it.
Yeah.
400 yards. is
I
very
like to eat. Listen to better podcasts.
And, like, look how much wasted space is on his screen. I'm just looking
Oh,
at
talk
that
about
now.
a baby beluga right here as the host of the show.
Yeah. That's really fucking good. I want to save that one for the next episode.
actually very, very close to the true story that I found, which was 396 yards, which I just don't
He didn't find that statistic. He just made it up.
think it would have sounded the exact same. And what a beautiful
Is that a
dichotomy
fact?
he creates here.
Yeah,
Right,
that is
you got the
100% a fact.
tragedy
He
of
made
his
it up.
death
Good,
by
yeah.
a careless accident, a preventable death. You know, as we like.
You know what's a preventable death? Me blowing my brains out from listening to your fucking podcast, you goddamn hack. Just put it away. You don't have it anymore. Somebody should punch that guy in the face at some
He never had it. He never had it.
Yeah, he was always on the outside looking in.
To say with COVID, a preventable death.
He was always just coasting on the
Smeared
improbabilities of the other
cartoon
people
image of
around
slipping
him.
on a banana, a smeared banana.
Ooh,
bread.
did he just say the C
Yeah,
word? Watch
the
out,
dichotomy, the
badass.
simpleness on one end and goofiness with the true tragedy that is death. Oh man, how are we gonna cope with this? How are we gonna tie
A guy died because he was a bad driver. There's no deeper meaning there.
a song together? Let's find out. Thank God you're here.
Actually, I have a real comment to that. I mean, if our friend here was earnestly making that comment, not sure he was, but there was a lot of fucking 70s folk songs that are just about an event that happened, like Alice's Restaurant, fucking I know I'm about to listen to another Arlo Guthrie song, but that fucking motorcycle songs, both of them are real songs that happened to him, and they're kind of about car wrecks.
That comment was a little sarcastic, a little tongue-in-cheek, because I think he clearly wrote the song because of the ending he eventually came to.
Yes.
So, Zen's producer says she doesn't like Mondays.
Who does, Zen's producer?
Or this podcast. That's a good one.
I do like lasagna, but I don't like this podcast.
I do not like this podcast.
Some of you may think that it would be easy to write a song like this, but it isn't. I'll be honest, I do think up to this point it wouldn't be the most difficult song in the world to write, lyrically at least.
Then do that instead of a podcast, you fucking hack.
Lyrically, leaving us wanting a little more.
Or
Let's see
better
how it
yet,
goes,
you
though.
say you're a
See,
comedian.
most great
When's the
works
last
are
time
about
you
that
wrote
thing
a
that holds them
joke?
together. This song doesn't. As a matter of fact, I had a great deal of trouble ending it. As a matter of fact, the first ending was like
It'd be
this.
actually, Bobby, it'd be funnier if I said that because I'm not a comedian.
All right,
So let's rewind that a little bit. How about you write a joke?
Well, let me explain why I wouldn't write it, or if he might not
wouldn't
write a joke.
Yeah.
Because
He's not
being-
funny.
Well, no. Being a comedian's not about writing jokes anymore. I don't know if you knew that. It's about doing things like this, where you watch other people's podcasts.
Right.
and
It's
comment
about
on them.
e-drama.
It's not about how often you're on stage or doing podcasting. It's about creating, like you said, e-drama. And the key, though, is picking an important subject to get angry over. And this shitty coverage of a Harry Chapin song is certainly one of them.
Right.
Yeah.
And you
did
know
I
the
have a
best
list
part,
there?
Bobby.
Did I have
is
a
that
list there
this-
real quick? Did I have a list? Yeah, it's because this podcast sucks so much dick.
That's right, and it's gay. That's why you had a list.
Gay. It's Derek Jeter.
Also, another thing that's really important to note is that we're actually aping the activities of the alt-right in 2016 and 2017, but it's been enough time now that we feel we can do it without getting the tar brush of doing the same thing that they're doing.
Yes, and it's a tongue-in-cheek. We're doing a parody.
Right, and also we're doing nice, safe politics that are, sort of Sheldon Adelson politics, we'll say.
Yes, we are. Becky says we are a couple of Nomar Garcia Parras, which is my favorite so
Noma.
far, and that is what we're sticking with.
Yes. Sing along if you get it.
Good podcast today.
Yes, you have no good
podcast.
You have
No
no
podcast,
good
good
podcast because you're
podcast.
gay. Man, maybe he should have covered that shitty
Now I
name
know.
or something.
It seems very simplistic on the nose.
I hate this guy. He's gonna try to find some deeper meaning.
Almost a
In
stupid
this
way to wrap up a
song.
song like that, but it is true to life. A cool city like Scranton, not cool, A-C-O-A-L, coal.
Then learn how to
City like
speak, you
Scranton,
fucking retard.
where no value is placed on human life. It's more about the goods you can produce. The
You
whole
should,
town's
instead of a
mourning the business, but not
panhandling to a
philosophy.
Pontiac fund, this guy should
There's
have
something to be
a
said for that.
fucking speech therapy fund.
Continue.
I was very proud of
Oh,
that
we got a butt.
and with much
Everything, we got a
anticipation,
butt, we got a butt.
Add
to
it.
the group and my brothers, and their
Make sure we pause everything. We got to get that butt in there.
Don't talk. I'm working. Just kidding. Thank you for the catch, Zen's producer.
reaction was best summed up by my brother Tom, who said,
Now, obviously, Zen's producer, we won't hire you or pay you actual money.
Right.
We
You're
just
sort of
missed
like
the-
an intern.
We just missed the line, it sucks. And anyone in the chat want to take that T-ball? I'd be just showing off at this point.
No, yeah, I won't even do that
How-
very
how
little
relatable
low
is the
bar
joke
of
thing?
work of making the obvious joke, even though despite the fact that this is one of the most low effort things one could do, actually think it's above me to make the very basic illusion.
Yeah, I'll leave it to somebody else. And
Above.
one of the lowest effort things you could do is actually sending some money to our Panhandling to a Pontiac fund.
So
We
do
are
it.
10% of our goal, and we are almost done with this podcast. So, guys, let's get there. Even if we don't meet our goal today, though, it's okay. We've been up all week, so it'll probably balance out in the end, and we'll still hit our goal for the week. And make sure you're liking, subscribing, and sharing because we have those goals too, but we'll probably track them some other time.
Like,
Do we have
I
outro
cannot tell
music?
you, pretty much any time
It's
I
the
bring
same.
a creative project of mine
Oh.
to my brother, the first thing he
Because I
says
could put
is,
on something fun.
That sucks.
Is it Harry Chapin?
Let's see if Harry reacts the same way.
Who's
I
the
do.
Venga Boys?
We'll stick with the Harry.
well, I was devastated.
I'm devastated listening to this podcast.
But I went back to my lonely writer's garage and come up with a new ending. Since it was a country and western song, maybe I could write a country
I wish this
ending.
guy would have done some
Something
editing on
about
his
motherhood.
podcast.
I
like
wish he would
Chapin
take a
did.
country western ending as well.
Up in a tree, boy. Because this here,
12 Angry Men, boy.
this is mudchalk country.
Damn, shots fired, Chapin.
Gay.
Shots fired.
If it wouldn't take 30 minutes, I'd have you play that drop, but
I
we're
think
good.
today's joke would have had
Yeah.
something about screwing your
I
sister,
don't have that one.
voting for Trump, MAGA. But that's just short, sweet, and on the nose.
Oh, look, there's those safe politics we were talking about.
Yeah, all of
Definitely
a sudden
not
Trump's
getting any
a bad
ADL
guy.
takedowns.
I-
No ADL takedowns for this guy.
You know what? I bet you this moron and his dad were sitting there election night, like they were watching their favorite team win the Super Bowl. Like, I can't believe they fucking did it. I can't believe he pulled this shit off, and now he wants to make Trump jokes.
Yeah.
What a fucking loser.
What a fucking dweeb.
Something with weeping steel guitars. Wailing
Like
fiddles.
me weeping at this gay podcast.
I can't
And an
believe it's
incredible
still
banjo part.
going on.
I don't consider it an incredible banjo part.
And something with harmony sung by, you guessed it, the L.A.
No
Memorial
one gives
Choir.
a fuck because nobody's still watching this podcast.
You'll see your part when it comes by.
Who is this LA Memorial Choir? If you were a
Who
member, reach out to me.
cares?
I have so many questions. I have so much I would love to learn and pay nothing but
I also have so many questions. Why are you still doing this podcast? Why haven't you killed yourself yet? Don't you have any self-esteem? Are you being held in a basement and forced to do this podcast at gunpoint by the Taliban? Is this their form of terrorism in America now, making people do shitty podcasts about Harry Chapin songs? Let's continue.
Gratitude and respect for you. And why can I not find anything about you? 6,000 Munchkins in the troll.
A woman walks into her room.
He's guessed the line 9 times. I bet you fucking missed it.
Sleeping.
I would like to go to sleep.
And when she sees
I already am.
his eyes are closed, she sits there.
At this point,
But mine about to be, yeah.
Yeah. I'm also weeping, but it's not silent.
I see gay liberation has hit LA.
Damn, shots
See, gay
fired.
liberation has hit this podcast.
Yeah, look at you, you fucking queer. And stop saying shots fired like you were born in 2004.
Who is this
For
woman?
real, on God. Is that what he's going to say
I don't know
next?
about this
100.
Is she the one who was going to give him the hand job when he got home? I don't know.
Ooh, a hand job joke.
Is it her
Watch
something
out, we got
related to
ourselves a
marriage? She's
shock
only
jock.
24. Who knows? Let's see what we can find out.
And though she lives in Scranton, Pennsylvania, 3,000 Munchkins in a troll.
Yep, he said 8,000 twice. He said 6,000 trying to cover his ass, and the answer was 3.
I doubled it for inflation's sake.
Oh, there it is. Another edgy political
timely.
joke.
Yep.
Oh.
Oh, look at this guy. Watches the Fox
Definitely better than the first one.
News.
I like the poetry of the first one, but this one, like, I get. How many times have you put on a smiling face in front of, I don't have kids, but people you have to be strong in front of. Whether
Yeah, we can tell.
God, I'm putting on a strong face watching this podcast.
it's, family, friends, and just get through life even though deep inside you're dead because you're, well, why are you dead inside? Let's find out.
She never, ever eats.
So, did he just set up a joke for the song?
Yeah, I think he did. I think he's trying to cover. He's such a Harry Chapin fan. A guy, Scott, who I'm guessing was dead 30 years before this moron was born. He's simping for. That's why you're an incel, you fucking moron.
Yeah, you're simping for a
She's crying
dead
for bananas,
man.
Not because of her husband or anything. That one leaves me wanting.
Why don't you join him?
Now I know I'm not.
Yeah, why don't you let the
typical
dead
eater,
guy
or
fuck you in
that's
the
certainly not
ass?
the prototype for what you should be eating. And if you know me from Compound, you may know my buddy Steve, who eats bananas all
Nobody
the time.
Name
knows
drop.
you.
Telling him not to eat
Nobody
bananas.
knows you. Nobody cares who you are. Stop pretending like you're somebody.
I can't tell you the last time I ate a banana. It would not cause me to weep.
We can tell.
I gotta tell you, I eat a banana every day.
I bet this Garcia Park eats a banana, but not the normal one. In reverse.
Sounds like a
I would
Mormon
rather
type
listen to
plan.
Rafi than this.
Shots
I wish I
fired,
had
Chapin.
tuberculosis because he
Damn,
just said
what did the
shots
Mormons
fired
ever do
for
to
a
you?
third time.
And why do they all have tuberculosis? I don't think that's a genetic disease. Maybe it is. I don't know. I'm not a geneticist. This
It's not funny to
first
make
half of
fun
this
of genetic
really created
diseases
something that could have gone somewhere. I
Yeah,
feel like
especially
it's
ones like
something that fell apart.
tuberculosis.
Also, the reason why we're listening to this version. I
or
showed
genetic
before is
diseases,
I know.
It's not
That's the
like
joke. That's the
in Great
joke.
Stories, he actually does 3 of the possible endings he wrote for this song. The first one, obviously, being the sing-along, yes, we have no bananas, and this one, the country western. And of the 3, I think he plays them in order. That's how I would have played them too.
Who gives a
This second one
fuck?
really had potential. Up
Nobody
until
cares about
the
this song,
part
let
where
alone
she
your
realized they were
ranking of
silently
them.
weeping because she never eats one of 30,000 bananas. We just
Yeah, who are
heard
you to be
songs
ranking
sold
his
8
songs?
30,000
You're just some guy in a drug rug.
You're not
she
even a
had to go one day
musician.
without
You're a
eating bananas. Does she have a
comedian.
seizure disease?
Or so you claim
Not
to
a very
be.
good. Yeah, so we are told.
I hear you
one day without
plug
bananas.
these bumfuck redneck gigs all
Feel
the
like that's
time
what
that
the
no
singer
one
is.
ever knows where they are.
So much less dignified than living off of panhandling to a Pontiac fund.
Yeah, so please help us hit our goal. We're 10% of the way there, guys, tonight. We're struggling. I know times are tough, but we're working hard here for you. We're clearly breaking a sweat. Also, I think we may have missed it at some point in this, but he pointed out that there's a third ending somewhere that he couldn't find. It's literally just on one of the other albums. This moron did not put in any research. I'm not going to torture the audience because we've already heard a lot of Chapin tonight, but that is a good point.
I appreciate that.
on.
That means a lot to you.
Scott,
to me.
got to interrupt you for the chat because we have a real important point.
Uh
That is true.
oh.
Please send money to the Venmo for panhandling to a Pontiac fund because, as Zen's producer says, I have kids.
I have cats.
I have a drug problem.
You say up bananas. It
I have an ex-wife.
The guys in the group, their reaction was
I have child support to pay.
I have to get a tattoo.
You really expect that
I have to buy a new feed bag.
actually harmless?
Hang on one
The
second.
music is a lot is pleasant, but I think Tom's definitely right. It sucks.
This podcast sucks.
Allegedly, this
had to
created
take the
a
opportunity.
catchphrase or a
He says
even
allegedly,
zeitgeist
like
phrase of
it-
Harry.
I think we need an allegedly a counter next.
yeah. I was just pointing out that he says allegedly, even though you can easily look up that ending, and then he makes up some stupid Donnie and Marie Osmond joke. Can you guess where he goes with it, Scott?
Let me guess. Incest.
Ding, 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 ding. We're gonna skip over that and get to the ending of this
I was
song
brokenhearted.
because, again, we've tortured the audience
And
enough.
once more, I went back to my writer's room and decided finally that honesty was the
This
best policy.
podcaster should have gone
And I
back
would
to the
end
writer's
song the way
room
I found out about it in the
and
first
throwing
place.
everything out because clearly all you do is hit
Coming
start
out of
streaming
Greyhound
and just
Bus
watch
through
somebody
Scranton,
else's work and make fun of it.
1965.
And then make the most obvious jokes ever.
As long as you hit your
Before we
goals,
get to
it's
that
all worth
story.
it. So please, like,
Did Harry
subscribe,
decide that honesty was
share,
the best policy?
donate.
Hit the
Pretty
bell.
sure on the album, this is where he ends the song. However, we've heard two. This is the third ending. This is where most other Chapin podcasts would probably leave you, and this is what separates Choppin from Chapin, pun intended, from the rest of those Chapin podcasts out there.
Oh yeah, because
A
there's
third
tons.
alternate ending surfaced, and then that's what Chapin would protest.
That was the part I tried to skip over.
It's okay.
You see, the man that told me about it on the bus says it went up the hill out of Scranton, Pennsylvania.
You can't hide that you love
know,
this
he shrugged
song.
his head,
I really can't.
shrugged his shoulders, said, and this is exactly what he said. He said, boy, it sure must have
Look
been
at the contemplative face he's making, as if there's anything going on in his head.
pound of banana.
And he's definitely not just reacting to what would be described today as a racist impression by Harry Chapin at the ending of his song. Of all the endings, he decided to go with the one where he does a mammy voice.
Honestly, I know I'm not. I said I wasn't a big fan of Harry Chapin, but solid bit.
Boy, he said, boy, it sure must have been something.
He's a house trucker.
Yeah, a bus driver, if you will.
Yes, there we go.
1,000 pounds of mashed banana.
My brain feels like mashed
I'm not
bananas
saying
listening to
the
this
bus
song.
Yeah,
driver didn't
seriously.
sound like that, but it certainly didn't seem like it. I've never met a bus driver who sounded like a Muppet.
Today.
Telling me I owed more money. Let's see how he wraps this bad boy up.
A banana.
Yeah, I'd like to wrap this bad boy up. I wish your dad wrapped his bad boy up.
Oh, thank God we finally did it.
Yeah, that's a sound he'll never hear in his
It does
career
feel like
once,
certainly
by
best
the
ending we
way.
heard. I like how it picked up to an ending. I like
Or in
the
his love
piano
life.
crash, all the music stopping at once. I question
Crash
why
on his
that would
mute
drive
all
me
at
up
once.
just
Yeah,
bananas.
that sounds like the end of
Yeah,
this
it's not
guy's
nice.
life. Am I right?
Yeah, I wish I could crash and end all of this, too. I wish my computer would crash and would erase this shitty podcast from my
Hey, don't.
memory.
Whoa. Don't say that. That could come true.
Yeah, very easily. Probably will.
Bad way to wrap up.
Which
the
means it
Irish
might be your
voice
last
and
chance
says
to
that
donate to
you
the
guys
Panhandle to the Pontiac Fund.
the first episode of Choppin' with Chapin. If you enjoyed it, let me know. Next episode, who knows what we'll cover? I'll probably put out a Twitter poll. But until then, I'll be in my taxi.
Oh, the
Take
finger
clips
gun.
and
Of
videos.
course.
What a cheese
Yeah.
dick.
On Twitter,
hacky
Instagram, Facebook,
Taxi
Shebang.
quote
Follow
to
and
end.
subscribe to this YouTube
What are
channel.
we
We got a lot more
doing?
fun stuff coming month. Apparently May is the month of the donkey. Now is the part of the show where we would go through some comments if we had them, but I don't see any, and I don't think people have questions because it's a pretty straightforward Chapin song.
Yeah,
Who knows
because
what
nobody's
happens?
watching your
Maybe
fucking
go with that.
podcast,
It
you loser.
On that note,
sucks.
thanks for tuning in. Hit that subscribe
Zen's
button,
producer
hit that
says
like,
dork
tell
as the
17
final
friends.
word.
Hell, tell 30,000
on him.
friends. Why not? Bye.
I think his final word is more like be gay to yourselves and each other.
Yeah. Somebody please fuck me. I'm begging you to. Well, folks, we've come to the end of that shitty Choppin' with Chapin. I think we talked enough about it. What do you think, Scott?
I think we've talked more about it than it should ever have been discussed in the history of the world.
I do think it's important that we do stuff like this because a war is coming and we need to be on the right side. So one of the best, I would say, legions in that war is you and your co-host, William, and your podcast, The
Bobby.
History Homos, which, characters aside, is one of my favorite podcasts to not only do but to listen to. Your fans are great. The Telegram chat's great. The whole shebang.
I wouldn't, for legal reasons, maybe take that one back.
Okay, the Telegram chat, I disavow most of what's in the
there
Telegram
you go.
chat.
Yeah.
I love, what did you say in the DMs? Oh, you'll always be one of us. I was like, yep, that's going to be quoted.
Yes, in the fucking federal. And Chuck Schumer is going to be reading that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I did agree. You're right. Yeah, it didn't quite mean what I thought it meant, but okay. So, guys, if you aren't already, head over there. They are just a lot of fun. We did a series on Caesar together.
Yep, it's finally concluded.
Yeah, just wrapped up with Julius. Well, I don't want to spoil it for you. Getting
no one knows.
Yeah, getting stabbed to death by a bunch of people whose moms he fucked. So you tell me who won in the end. And we just did one about Dante's Inferno. I had somebody hit me up and be like, "Damn, where did you learn all that?" And I had to be like, "We cram before the episode."
Yeah, we study every week. That's it. I'm in school now again.
Yeah. I mean, like, I explained I had a great Latin teacher who taught us a lot of the history and culture.
Yeah.
But I also have a friend who teaches ancient Roman civilizations and some Dante literature at Richmond that I talked to before those episodes.
Nice.
That helps me out.
Good.
So I'm a cheater. That guy's a hack. Even though the episode's down, you can still send to the Panhandling, to the Pontiac Fund. We hit 10% of our goal. That's not the worst. But please, guys, if you don't hit this by the end of the week, my significant other will make me get a real job and will stop being the co-host. So please, I can't always find a great guest host like Scott.
Or we'll have to take up more shifts managing a fucking a comedy club that my parents bought me.
I don't know what that means. I'm not sure who we're tackling that one. But on that note, thank you guys for tuning in to This Has Been Talking with Chapin.
Hello, honey, it's me. What did you think when you heard me back on the radio?
Great point. It's actually Talkin Choppin with Chapin. That's my bad. Thank you for saving that, Scott. It's so important.
My pleasure. www.historyhomos.com.
Thank you for
at
History
Homos Pod.
Anything else you want to plug, buddy? I do like the stairs.
At Scott Lizard A on Twitter and at Scott Lizard Abrams on Instagram. Thank you.
At History Homos Pod as well.
Yes.
To get the full exposure. Guys, check out the Davey Mack Sports program. We're live now. We are in the same room. Big things are happening there. We've also got the Patreon going with Davey Mack's Tales from the Satellite, where we sit down and go through an episode. He and I actually host it with him. And we go through, Ron and Fez stories that Dave was a part of, and he gives the insights. So make sure you're checking all that out. I know I made fun of the other guy, but this weekend I'm somewhere for the Laughs, Loves, and Leashes show. It's a fundraiser to train pit bulls for wounded veterans. So on that note, come find where that is. It's on Earl's page, and you guys go act like you're living your dreams, and I'll be in my taxi taking tips and getting stoned, panhandling for a Pontiac Fund.
Hello, honey, it's me. What did you think when you heard me back on the radio? What did the kids say when they knew it was their long-lost daddy-o? Remember how we listened to the radio, and I said that's the place to be. And how I got the job as an FM jock the day you married me. It was 2 kids and I was into AM rock, but I just had to run around. It's been 8 years since I left you, babe. Let me tell you about what's gone down. I am the morning DJ at WOLD, playing all the hits for you wherever you may